how's it going? My name is Aleisha and this is my personal vlogging channel, and if you didn't know, I recently went on a cruise, and if you want to check out the vlog and the videos I made throughout my cruise from days 1 when we got on the plane to day 8, the last day we spent in Brisbane, check it out. It is on my channel and there is even a playlist that I made specifically for the cruise, so I will put that in the information card if I can. Then that brings me into the topic of this video and probably the title. I'm going to be telling you things that I think that you need to know for a 7-day cruise, so you can be more prepared than I was, and so you have a bit of an idea on what's going on. Because let's just say if it weren't for my sister and my mum, I would have absolutely no idea what to expect. And this was because my sister did research on YouTube watching videos like this one. So, just to get things out of the way and settled, we went on a P&O cruise. We went on the Pacific Encounter, to be specific, and it was a 7-day island hopper cruise. So we were only on board the boat for 7 days, and we were supposed to go to 3 locations, except for, due to weather, we didn't make it to all 3 locations. We went to 2. But these are, I think there's 7, maybe 8 things that I wanted to emphasize or think that are the most important. So let's get started. First things first, bring things to do. So this one's a bit of a no-brainer. You're going to be out in the middle of the ocean with only what's on the boat and anything you bring. So it definitely helps and is a very good idea to bring activities and things you can do, especially if you're going with other people. So when we went, we bought a mini Jenga game. You'll be able to see it if you check out the vlog video. It's just like a portable travel size Jenga. I think we actually picked it up from an arcade as a prize for the tickets you win. You also should bring something like a pack of cards, like small things that you can take with you, and then if you're bored or you don't have anything to do on sea days, you can just play with either people you meet or the people that you went with on the boat. Also books are good, puzzles, like a small puzzle if you have a puzzle, or take the puzzle out of the box and put it in a Ziploc bag. The cruise we were on did actually have some board games, so they had full-size Jenga, they had Monopoly, they had checkers, they had chess, games like this, so there may be a games room on your boat. So you don't need to bring big games, just like if you have small games like Bananagrams, if you don't know what it is, I'll put a picture up. It's like a Scrabble type game that's also quite small. I just recommend bringing something like that, so that on sea days, if you don't like any of the itinerary or the games and things that they provide, you have something to do. Also devices, so like if you have, people will probably say, oh, you don't want to bring devices, you want to spend your time outside. Fair enough. However, weather can change. The weather may not be the best when you go on your cruise, like it was for ours, and ours got delayed. So devices are still a good thing to bring, like a Game Boy or a PlayStation or things like that. Additionally, you might be thinking, well, you can just go in the pool and play, right? Well, yes and no. On the boat we went on, there were a total of 3 to 4 pools. One was the Bondi Sands pool, which you had to have a specific room to have, and it was really expensive. The other one was the Oasis pool, which was adults only. We didn't go to that area in the end, but we could have. It was just over 18. And then there were 2 other pools. There was the main pool and the family pool. Family pool was completely covered, so there was no outdoor area. And it was mostly young children or older people that would stay in there. And then the main pool was completely crowded. Like, you would have enough room just in a little bit of a personal bubble in front of you, but that's it. Like, there's no room to play around, swim laps, play tag, all this sort of stuff, and it's mostly, again, children, very, very young children. Because I found that on the cruise, mostly young children, older people kind of go. There aren't a whole heap of people around 20-25 on this specific cruise, I mean. Anyway, moving on to the next point. Is one that I didn't do myself, but you should, I recommend booking your excursions through the cruise. So we had this option. It does have multiple excursions listed and the prices, and we did end up looking at them, and some of them were kind of cool. I thought they were kind of overpriced at the time. Now looking back, on the island they raise all the prices anyway. We would have been so much better off to book through the boat and then figure it out that way. But hindsight. So some of the reasons I recommend booking with the cruise is they are 100% responsible for making sure you leave the boat and you get back to the boat on time. They cannot leave without you if you book through the excursion. It's also, they know the area, they have vetted these places, and they're the ones with their heads on the line if something does go wrong. So they generally make sure nothing can go wrong. So yeah, even though they may seem a little bit expensive, I do highly recommend booking through the cruise ship, especially in places where they like to barter and upsell, and it's their only source of income when the cruise ships come in, because they do inevitably raise the prices and ask for more from tourists. Another thing I do recommend, which kind of relates to the excursions and booking through the boat, is the drinks packages. When we were on board the boat, they had a number of drinks packages available that you could pre-purchase or even purchase on board for slightly more expensive. Pre-purchase everything, like Wi-Fi, drinks, it works out cheaper. But I do recommend you think about the kind of drinks package you offer, especially if they have multiple on offer. The boat we had on had just soft drinks, so you could just get free soft drinks wherever you went. We did get that one. There's also a beverage one, which was like coffees, hot drinks, some mocktails, I believe, and juices and bottled water come under that one. And then you have the cocktail and mocktail one, which we also got, but I myself am not a huge drinker, so I feel like that might have been a bit of a waste of money, and do prefer coffee, so I would have rathered the coffee package. And then there's another one, which is the works. So I recommend pre-purchasing. I think it was worth it in the end, and the fact that you can just go up and be like, you give them I had like a plastic card around, and I put it on a lanyard, and you just take it to them, they scan it, and then you don't have to pay for your drinks because it's a pre-packaged that's already prepaid. So I do recommend those highly. With the cocktails and mocktails one, you have a limit of 15 drinks per day, and my mum is a bit of an avid drinker. I wouldn't say she's alcoholic, but she can drink. She didn't even hit her 15 drinks in a 24-hour time period. I think the closest she got was 13 or 14. So it can be done. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying that for the average person, that's a lot of drinks to go through in the 24-hour period. Moving on to the next one. When you go to embark the boat, when you get to the port where you're getting on your cruise, I recommend arriving early or getting there earlier than the time you're supposed to board, simply because it's a really long process. You not only have to get through the line, well, ours was worse, we had to wear masks for COVID, and they were only letting a certain amount of people in at a time, and you're supposed to arrive at your boarding time anyway, or they gave us specific boarding times so that there weren't too many people. Then you have to go up and through this area, and then they go through like a second customs. It's almost because you're traveling to a different country, right? So we'd already been through customs coming off the plane because we came from New Zealand to Australia to get on this cruise. We then had to go through like a secondary customs, and they make you tip out all your water, and you're not allowed to bring food onto the boat, you're not supposed to take food off the boat, all this sort of stuff. So I do recommend getting there early. They check your passports. Also, there's an app called Verify, which they made us get, which will lead me into another point later. But if they suggest you to get anything that will make things faster, do it. Like, it's not worth it taking longer for you, especially if it benefits you. Like, this Verify app that they made us get, it meant that we didn't have to present our passports. We had them just in case, but it had all the information that our passport had, and it would verify that information, so we didn't actually have to physically give it to them. Yes, which leads me into my next point, actually. Check your emails before you go on this cruise. The places, what are they called? Service providers, they are very, very good at keeping you up to date, and they use email. So because my mum booked the cruise on behalf of us, most of the emails did go to my mum, which meant she had to tell us. So which means all the information wasn't completely relayed properly, or she only gave information that we needed. However, if you're the person that books your cruise, they are going to contact you. So check your emails and make sure you follow any information or any tips that they give you, because it's helpful. And the next point is ensure all your documentation is correct and that you have it. So if you know you're going on a cruise 2 months ago, maybe even 4 months ago, make sure your passport is up to date and is completely valid for maybe even a month or two after you get back. because if you go there on a unvalid passport, or valid when you get there and expires during your cruise, what are you going to do? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Make sure you have all your documents in line. Make sure you have evidence of all your documents. It helps to print things out and keep them in one place. I have this cute little foldery thing. It's got a zip, and it's where you can keep all your important documents, all your tickets, all your receipts, that sort of stuff. Highly recommend it. I have 2 actually, and I'll probably gift one to Connor if we go overseas again. But yes, get all your documentation in line. It is less hassle for everyone, and just think about it. Just think about it. Lastly, my last, there's kind of 2 more, but last major one is that there's not a lot of space. If you've seen the video, I gave you a room tour. You've seen the rooms that they give you. Very, very small, and pretty much just fits a bed. There's a very tiny toilet and a small area to hang up some clothes. So travel light. They give you towels. Don't bring towels. The walls are magnetic. So I saw a video, well, my sister mentioned that she saw a video that somebody found magnetic hooks. All the walls are magnetic. So if you get magnetic hooks, you've got extra storage room, especially for 7 days. Like, this is a controversial topic, but I did unpack my suitcase and hang up my clothes just because I found it was easier. I feel like 7 days is that line where it's like, is it worth unpacking your suitcase? Is it not? But by unpacking my suitcase, it meant I could stand it upright against the wall, and it ended up giving me a little bit more room. So, whatever works for you, but do be aware that space is very limited and only take what you think you need. So they do have some soaps in the bathroom. They also have other small amount of stuff, but if your hair is kind of like mine, curly, I do recommend bringing shampoo and conditioner because it's kind of just cheap stuff. So just reduce what you can, where you can, is all I'm saying. So the last little point I want to touch on is weather. I know you're going on a cruise, you're expecting it to be summer, you want to lie by the pool, you want to have a good time, summer vacation on the water, right? That's not always the case. The weather is unpredictable, you're out in the middle of the sea, that you can't really look at a forecast in advance, so you might get seasick. Take seasick medication, just be prepared. The boats, or the boat we were on, did print out and give us like a little itinerary of all the stuff and shows that they were putting on, which means that there is stuff to do if you don't want to be outside all day. They also provide entertainment, there's trivia, all of this sort of stuff, so you will not be without something to do if it is bad weather and you can't go out in the pool and lie in the sun. But yeah, no. Don't assume that the weather is going to be perfect, sunny skies and everything, because it might not. I mean, our boat was delayed 3 hours going out and 3 hours coming in and 3 hours going out because of a storm. And if you've seen my video, you've seen how bad it got. I do recommend checking out that video if you want. It's the video where everybody gets seasick. A little bit of a clickbait in the title, but I got seasick, Connor got seasick, both my sister and her partner got seasick, and there were lots of other people who were a bit under the weather because of the weather in that video too. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it has been helpful for somebody who is thinking about going on a 7-day cruise, specifically the Pacific Encounter 7-day island hopper. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, and I'll see you on the next video. Please remember to subscribe and hit that bell notification on if you like my content.